San Francisco's most expensive building, in my opinion, in terms of condominiums, is going to be the Millennium Tower. The brand itself is everywhere in the US. There's like a Millennium Tower in New York City, there's one in Boston, and they all command very expensive prices. Guys, these are not your cheap, everyday condos. We're looking at the tippity top. Entrepreneurs, rich people, they buy the Millennium brand because it's a good condo brand. But guess what? This one is still tilting. It's not really looking so great, especially we've got some of the units hitting the markets at almost worthless values. It's not the first two towers, it's the third one. It still looks pretty nice. And I think the regret from some of the buyers is insane. And it's not often when you got a $14 million penthouse in San Francisco, considering that San Francisco is already a real estate place where many of the properties are dropping in value. And now you're trying to sell this penthouse for $14 million bucks in a building that's not even built on solid ground. It's tilting. And San Francisco is also known for earthquakes, guys. It's on the ring of fire, and the chances of an earthquake destroying the building is pretty high, considering that the foundation isn't even stable. There's already cracks, and they're still trying to fix this after several years. And if you look into X and what some of these people are talking about, we got this condo right here, 1 bed, 1 bath, 679 square feet for $575,000. Now, this is a very cheap unit in terms of San Francisco condos. If you look at 181 Fremont back here, this is a beautiful luxury tower. Their one bedrooms typically go for about maybe 1.2 to 1.5 million. And that's already with very hefty discounts. So this one's selling for about a third of the value. And if you look into the property, they are now renting it out. The property is open for rent for $3,300 a month, and it's a luxury 1 bedroom. You got luxury amenities, and when we talk about the Millennium Tower, this is the tippy top of service and luxury. Though the building is tilting, and even if I have money for this, I'm not going to spend it on a building that's tilting. And the crazy part is $3,300 is actually the cost of HOA and property tax. So the dude that owns this building, they can't even sell it because nobody wants it. So he's trying to rent it out just so he doesn't have to, spend money on the HOA and the property tax. Which, in my opinion, if you're buying a 1-bedroom condo and you're spending like over $3,000 on a gym membership, a pool membership, and some concierge service, and a little bit of property tax, something is wrong with your purchasing taste. Now, there's a lot of condo buildings in Manhattan that have even higher HOA and property taxes. But the mere fact that this one is going through the roof is also partly because of massive construction costs, and that's being passed on to the buyers. And look at Millennium Tower right now. This is what it looks like. You got a 2-bed, 2-bath, 1,200 square feet corner unit, looking pretty good for $968,000. May seem kind of expensive, but this unit originally went for about $2.3 to $2.5 million when it first launched sales a few years ago. So the prices have dropped about 60 to 70%. And then check this out, right? Commercial, office, real estate. It's a manageable problem, but some banks will close. Now, what does this have to do with anything about the Millennium Tower? Well, we're seeing a lot of these banks taking massive beatings, right? If the Millennium Tower dropped this much in price, you also have several other buildings dropping more in price. And many of the buyers in several of these Millennium Tower buildings, they don't really have that much money anymore. They're taking massive beatings on the market, and now you already have a banking crisis. We're seeing a lot of tech jobs being erased. It's also causing many of these buyers to sell at very desperate prices like this one. 1,500 square feet for just $1.28 million, guys. This was a unit that went for about $3.2 million in the past few years. And the Millennium Tower, even though it's like a tilting issue, it's also affecting prices of other luxury condo buildings around it. Like, for example, you got the Fremont building, right? Which is like super duper expensive. The 181 Fremont Street, their tower is also going down in price. We've got Stewart Lane. This luxury tower is also going down in price. Commercial real estate is also going down in price. And it seems like San Francisco, yes, it's looking pretty bad. But if you look at the Millennium Tower, you got a combination of dropping real estate prices and your building is literally dropping itself on its foundation. We could be seeing the Millennium Tower condos like this one, massive square footage, probably no longer at 1.2 million. They might even try to sell this for $600,000, $700,000 just to salvage a little bit of money. Now, are anyone buying these? Some. There's some people who are banking on the fact that the foundation will be fixed and eventually this will go up in value. But most investors are not that crazy. So thanks for watching, guys. Comment below and see you later.